I took a really fun fall trip to Disneyland. The pumpkin was out, the characters were out in their special Halloween costumes. There were banners everywhere. And did I want to do any of this? No. I wanted to ride the Disneyland Railroad 13 times in one day, see if I could do it, challenge myself, and see what happened. The rules are extremely simple. Disneyland Railroad 13 times in a row, see how long it takes, and see if I can do it. I was running a little bit late for rope drop that day, so I started at 8:36. I got to the railroad for my first try. I luckily got my favorite, the side-facing train. This is a big conversation in my family, side-facing or front-facing. There's only one right answer. It's the side-facing train. Mom came on this journey with me. She was as excited as I was, I think. She thought the railroad would be easy because it is such a relaxing ride. The Disneyland website says that the full circle tour takes about 18 minutes. And I kind of naively thought this day will be easy because although we might only get 3 rides per hour, it's going to be such a relaxing experience. It did end up turning out that I was a little bit wrong. So stay tuned to see that. But it ended up taking longer than I expected. Round one, and Mom's already complaining about how she's tired and she needs caffeine. Our round one train ride ended up taking only 20 minutes, which was not the theme of the day, and things went downhill shortly, but at the moment, things were going great, and we were in great spirits. USA. Our second round took 28 minutes, and this is where I started to get nervous because I realized if every train round took about a half an hour, we could really be here about 10 hours with a lunch break and bathroom breaks and just breaks to walk around a little bit because on the train you are just sitting, and that seemed a little bit extreme. I definitely wasn't ready for 10 hours, so I started to get a little bit nervous about our plan at this point, which was pretty early in the day. We're on our third train ride. Mom is already starting to give up. She doesn't think we're going to make it already. She's really panicking, freaking out, giving up. We'll see how we do. We're just going to try. That's right. But someone has already lost. Our third round took 26 minutes, and as you can see, our spirits were starting to dwindle already. But the train operator, I'm not sure who just told us that. Someone on the train just told us that the train's going to be out of commission for a while after we go to New Orleans right now, so there you go. Might be the end of the day. Our fourth train ride took 28 minutes, and this is also when they started telling us that the train might be down for a while, which we freaked out about. However, that didn't actually happen. By the time we got to the New Orleans station, they were like, no, just kidding. And I think it took a couple extra minutes at the station, but nothing crazy. Thank goodness, because we thought we were probably going to have to give up on the whole day at that moment and just ended after 4, which we were not trying to do. Informed us that the train is actually going normal, so we're back on for our challenge. So hopefully we can do it. Now we're waiting in Toontown because another train's on the line, so it's taking a little bit longer. How are you feeling? We did get stuck in Toontown for a couple extra minutes because it was so early in the morning. There was only the one train we were on the track, and they were actually adding the second track at that point. But this is also when we heard 2 of the train cast members discussing how there was not going to be a third train on the line that day. There were just going to be 2, which just seemed kind of ominous and probably not like the best news for us in our situation, because it seems like there was just something going on with the trains that day. They just did not seem like they were running up to their usual standard. Our fifth ride ended up taking 43 minutes with all of the extra stops, and this is when I was definitely getting nervous that we could not complete the 13 train rides that day. I was like, I don't even know if we have enough time left in the day, much less if it was really going to be possible for us, because it was a pretty warm day and we were getting hot. So we decided to take our lunch break at this time, and we're a little bit down on our challenge, but you know, we were like ready to start again after our lunch. Do one. We took about an hour lunch and came back refreshed, and our 6th train ride took about 28 minutes. Now, one of the things that makes certain train rides take a little bit longer than others is that these trains are steam powered. So sometimes at the New Orleans train stop, they have to refill the train up with water, which can take a couple minutes, a few minutes, and really can add some extra time to certain rides. This is footage from the New Orleans train stop. You can see the water tower. That's the place where they fill up the train with water again. And this is also the train stop where they do a telegraph of Walt's opening day speech. If you can hear it in Morse code, it's pretty cool. It's a little fun fact that's cute to share. On our 6th and 7th train rides, we did ride the front-facing train, which in my opinion is not my favorite. I think if you can only ride one, definitely ride the side-facing train because I do think you have better views. If you get in the front-facing, you can end up like all the way on the side and not have a great view of the front of basically the view. But one thing I did see on the front-facing train, since we hardly ever go on it, is a couple new things, including this outhouse and this cat, which I honestly have never noticed before because we normally do side-facing. Our 7th trip on the train took 25 minutes, so it was getting down to being okay again, and I was getting my hopes up like, you know what, I think this all might work out. If they take about 25 minutes, that would not be as bad. But little did I know, things were about to get even crazier. On our what would have been 8th trip, but ended up being our 7.5 trip, it took 16 minutes because we actually got kicked off the train in Toontown. Everyone had to get off.
Trains are all down again. This has been a crazy adventure.
The train, as you can see here, ended up being down for so long that we actually gave up and we're like, okay, we'll just try again later. But the truth was they ended up being down so long that we gave up and we did in fact not try again later because I thought with all the issues that the trains were having and with how long it had been taking us, we were not going to probably make our 13 trips and we were getting tired. It was just a little bit mentally exhausting since nothing was going right. So we did give up. But as I was telling Mom, the important thing is that we tried. And since we did not succeed this time, we will have to do the train 13 times again. But I'm completely fine with that. Hopefully we'll pick a day that things are not so dramatically wrong. Everything is going more right and we can actually complete our 13 rides. But I definitely know now to assume that the train is going to take more than 18 minutes each. I think that was a little bit silly of me to think that. But I had never timed it before. So I really didn't realize that the train normally takes longer than 18 minutes. Something cool that we did see today in all of our adventures were that at the Toontown station, you can see a tiny bit. And when I say a tiny bit, I mean a tiny bit of a view of the Toontown construction. If you look through the trees, really good because they are redoing Toontown right now. So I actually got this footage on the front-facing train. For as much as I talk badly about that train, it is good for the Toontown viewing. So we did the train 7.5 times exactly. We're not going to be able to complete it because it is closed unless it magically opens up while we're still here. But how was your experience? 10 out of 10?
I liked it. I loved it. It was fun because it was relaxing.
It was super relaxing. So do you regret it?
No, I don't regret it.
That's good because we're going to have to redo it.
I know.
Our 7.5 trips on the Disneyland train took 5 hours and 8 minutes in total. Definitely more than I expected. I think my guess for all 13 times was about 7 minutes, but I can't exactly remember. Next time I'll definitely record my guess, but I think it was about 7 hours, so I was wrong by a lot. And the average for all 7 complete trips that we did was 28 minutes, which is 10 minutes over the advertised 18-minute average train ride. But we did have some different experiences. I think it was just not a great day to pick the train. I think it was a bad decision from the start, although there was no way of knowing that. I think the train was just having issues and we were kind of just doomed to not complete the challenge. I do, however, think that you can't really pick a more relaxing, easier ride to ride 13 times since the train is continuous and you don't have to get off at any point. You never really have to wait in line more than once if you didn't want to. I don't know if I could really stay on the train 13 times in a row, but maybe I will next time. We'll have to see. We have previously gone on the Haunted Mansion 13 times in a row, and kind of a similar experience happened on the train where I started to notice quite a few things that I normally don't notice, especially the cat that I showed you guys. I have never seen that before. There was also a lizard and an outhouse that I had never seen before. I think that's mainly, again, because I normally only ride side facing. You'll have to let me know which one you prefer, side facing or front facing. I love them both, but there's really only one that has my heart. So until we come back to the train to ride it 13 times, that was our first try.
Peace out, and we'll see you real soon.
See you soon.